I was angry because I couldn't understand why nothing in my life was working. I was a brand new entrepreneur. I'd make some money here and there, but it never compounded. It was like I had holes in my pockets, and these holes were there for a reason I couldn't see, something I was missing, something spiritual. And one day, after another long day at work, my bank account went negative again. I walked upstairs and I snapped. I crashed out. I shouted at God, "What is the issue? Why isn't it working? You said you wanted me blessed. I serve, I tithe, I show up to everything. And still, look at this." And I picked up the bed that was laying on the floor and I slammed it against the wall. And I started punching it till my hands hurt. Everybody froze. All four of us were living in a one-bedroom apartment. My two little babies were watching, and my wife was staring at me in silence. And my kids said, "Mommy, Mommy, why is Daddy crying?" And my heart just shattered right there. I collapsed to the floor and just cried. Years of frustration and disappointment came pouring out of me. And when I finally stopped crying, there was a stillness. It was like the whole room was holding its breath, like heaven was waiting for me to finally break. And right there, in that silence, God spoke to me. That small, still voice, he said, "Son, be still, go read." And I can't explain it, but something in me that day shifted. It was like the anger began to drain out of me, and the desperation turned into surrender. So I wiped my face, grabbed my Bible, and listened to the Lord and what he said and opened it up. And as I started to read, God began to show me all about the power to get wealth and how to activate it. Not wealth the way the world teaches, not manifesting per se, not positive thinking, not hustling until you can't no more. Something deeper, something that connects the spiritual, the mental, and the practical. Because what God showed me that day completely changed my entire life. And if you watch until the end of this video, I believe your life will never be the same again. You see, and when I began to read, I ended up in a verse I'd seen 100 times, but never fully really understood. And it's funny how that works. Just one day, it's like it clicks. The verse becomes alive. And that scripture was Deuteronomy 8:18. "For it is he who gives you the power to get wealth." That day, the spirit of revelation hit me. God doesn't always give you wealth. He gives you the power to get it. And that power is something I had been completely missing. Because I thought if I serve, if I tithe, if I show up, if I pray hard enough, God will bless me. And that's not what the verse says. God showed me wealth isn't dropped on you. It's built through the power he gives. And if you don't use that power, nothing changes. That day, it was like the scales fell off my eyes. The holes in my life weren't punishment, and they were indicators. Indicators that I wasn't using the power he already gave me. See, I kept asking God to do something for me when he was trying to do something through me. I was waiting for the blessing, but I wasn't becoming someone who could sustain one. And listen, from that moment forward, everything began to completely shift. Not overnight, not magically, but internally, my mindset had changed. My identity changed. My decisions started to change. I started to operate with more wisdom. And God even started showing me practical things I was blind to. He showed me that too much sugar, caffeine, and even food contribute to the ADHD mind. And it was destroying my productivity. And that was one of the main reasons I felt like I was on a hamster wheel. I thought I was just spiritually under attack, and that's part of it, because there is witchcraft to it. But really, these physical addictions were draining the very energy I needed to build. He showed me that I couldn't do it alone. I could not do this in my own strength. I thought I was spending enough time with him already, but it wasn't quality time. It wasn't the extended focus time in his presence. And he was trying to get me to slow down to the place where he could actually strengthen me, guide me, and begin to correct me. You see, the whole world is busy, and the enemy will try to keep you busy so you don't slow down enough to hear from the Lord and get what you need. And when I began to do that, that's when things started to compound. Because when you finally understand what God has already placed inside you, you stop waiting for blessings and you start building them with the power he already gave you. And what God showed me this day was wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your spirit. Before God changes your finances, he changes you. Because if he gives you wealth while you still think like a broke person, you'll lose it all. If he gives you opportunity while you still operate in fear, you'll sabotage it. If he gives you increase while you still have a survival mindset, you won't be able to carry it. And this is why so many people pray for financial breakthrough, but nothing changes. They're asking God to bless something they haven't built the capacity to hold. And I realized something painful. I wasn't being blocked by the enemy. I wasn't being blocked by even people. I wasn't even being blocked by a lack of opportunity. I was being blocked by the version of me that couldn't handle what I was praying for. And God wasn't withholding wealth from me. I was. Because I didn't understand the power he already put inside me. So what is that power? What does it actually look like? Why do some people seem to multiply effortlessly, while others grind for years with nothing to show? And here's the broad truth. The power to get wealth is the ability God gives you to see opportunity, act on it, develop skills, stored resources, multiply what's in your hands. It's not just spiritual feeling. It's not just hard work. It's not just faith. It's the combination of revelation, identity, wisdom, action, stewardship, and strategy, all working together. And when those align, wealth flows. When they don't, you leak. And that's why I felt like I had holes in my pockets, because I did, but spiritually. And once that clicked, everything began to move forward. I stopped begging God for the harvest. I started planting seed. I started to advertise. I started to learn skills. I stopped asking for blessing. I started to build with the things that he's placed in my hands. I stopped hoping. I started managing my time and directing my energy where it needs to go. I started becoming, and that's when things started to compound. Ideas started to flow. Opportunities opened up because I wrote down the revelations he was giving me. My output increased. My confidence grew. And I stopped treating God like a vending machine I was waiting on. And I started working with him as my partner, my business partner, and my father. And listen, your breakthrough doesn't start when God moves all the time. You have to move with him. It starts when you start to move. God will give you the power, but he won't use it for you. He won't write the book for you. He won't start the business for you. He won't make the video for you. He won't build the product for you. He won't execute the idea for you. You're a co-laborer. You're a joint heir. He gives you the ability, and then he watches what you do with it. And the moment I stopped waiting for God to hand me wealth and stopped acting like a beggar and started using the power he already put inside me, things began to change for the good. And that's it for this video. And if this video somehow changed your life, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with somebody who might need it. And if you've been following my channel, you know that I just finished the book, The Power to Get Wealth book, at thepowertogetwealthbook.com down below. And this goes deeper on everything I talked about in this video. And when you pick it up, I believe it'll change your life because it already changed mine. And I did go ahead and add the accelerated mindset training to this book so that you can have mindset and the power to get wealth, because I believe they both go hand in hand. And this is the exact mindset that changed my life forever, helped me get more done in less time, helped me to stay hyper focused and to start crushing my goals like clockwork. So you get the 2-for-1. This is the 1.0 version. There will be an expanded edition. And if you give me feedback, you give me a review, you have a chance to get in the next edition before I go to print. And whoever gets the 1.0 edition, of course, gets the 2.0 edition for free digitally. And I added even more to it. When you grab it, I added something special for you. If you want to learn how I made a whole salary online with the one-person digital empire blueprint, the way I did, there's a major discount for the book launch. Click the checkbox at checkout. And I put all this together because I want you to walk out with everything that you need. And again, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Be blessed. I'll see you soon.